All right, today is our final day of Menopause Makeover, and we've gone through a week of exploring the 5 keys to making sure that your menopausal years are awesome. So we know that diet and our daily routine and our environmental influences, our digestion, are all non-negotiables. They are things that we get to address and make sure that we have that dialed in. But today we're going to talk about stress. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the juice is. And it's the primary thrust of my personal practice when I work with clients is getting underneath those stressors and rooting out the cause of them. Now we know that stress is caused by our reaction to our environment and our situations. But what you might not know is that our stress is also caused by key points in our lives where we had to protect ourselves, and we created these mechanisms, these ways of being, these belief systems that kept us doing the same things over and over again. And a lot of times these things that once served us really well is no longer serving us, but yet we unconsciously continue to do them. That might feel a little fuzzy right now, but today what I want to do is dive into an epic practice that helps you to get underneath and start to root out some of this stuff. It's interesting because if we don't know what's underneath, we can't do anything about it. And once we know what's underneath, we can go, oh, and the shift can be instantaneous, which I completely love. We have to, in order to get into a higher level, a higher space, a more vibrational existence that mirrors the life that we want, we must look at all of the root causes, whether it's, what we're putting in our pie hole, or, our daily routine and habits, our thinking, the things we clean our house with, like we get to look at all of that. But the subtler stuff, the stuff that we've picked up throughout our life and past lives, can really have an impact. One of the things that I see over and over again, and this is going to sound kind of woo-woo if this is new to you, is women that hold back. They don't use their voice. They kind of fade into the background because of past life persecutions. A lot of healers will call that a witch wound, right? Like healers and midwives and herbalists in the past were hung and burned at the stake and persecuted. And so that impression is still left in our body, right? But we also have impressions that are left in our body from all the different times that we've given our power away. As a child, somebody says something and you take it literally, and a piece of you just kind of chunks off and goes away and hides in a safe place. Well, we get to bring that back. We get to bring all these little fragments that have splintered off over time and bring it back into ourselves so that we can be whole, so that we can thrive, and so that we can create this amazing third act in our world. Like, we as menopausal women are the most powerful set of humans, and we can have a ripple effect that is magnificent, but we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our soul and our body and our mind and our emotions, and then we get to really enjoy a magnificent, wonderful experience. That said, I'm going to lead you through a little practice, and it's not so little, it's pretty massive as far as impact. And what I want you to do is make sure you're not going to get disturbed. This is only going to be 10-ish minutes. And close your eyes. And just drop. Drop into your breath. Drop into your body. Allow your breath to expand your belly. And just to make sure that you're embodied, you're paying attention to the inside, I'm going to mention a few places for you to look and feel and experience. So let's start with the nostrils. Focus there and watch as you inhale, watch the cool air move across your nostrils and follow the air down into your lungs. And experience how satisfying just breathing can be. Now let's take our awareness to our third eye area. There's a cavity in there. It's our sinus cavity. And as you inhale, let the air slow it way down so you can feel the air swirling around in that cavity, in that upper sinus. And barring any kind of sinus infection, that should feel pretty pleasurable. Just notice how that feels. Now, let's go down to our pubic bone. And take your awareness to the underside of your pubic bone. This is the anterior site of our sacral chakra, the place of our creativity. Continue to breathe and notice what comes forth when you focus there. So these sites are a source of pleasure unless they're not. So now what we're going to do is scan the body and just look to see where your body is vying for your attention. It might be quite obvious. Your body might be going, over here, I'm right here. There might be several spots. Just pick one that's maybe the loudest. It could be your heart or stomach or your toe. It could be anywhere. Hey, I'm right here. Pay attention to me. And what I want you to do is focus intensely on that spot, that aspect of your being, that area that is vying for your attention. And as if you could shrink yourself down and go in there and be with it. Take your awareness and really drop in and be with that aspect of your being, wherever it may be. Stay very focused on it. And you're going to have a little conversation with this space, this place. Let it know, tell it, I'm here. I'm here and I'm listening and I'm not going anywhere. You have my attention. Now, what I'd like for you to do, beautiful aspect of my being, is tell me why you're here. Tell me what you want to tell me. You have my attention. Let me know why you're here. And listen. The message always comes back to some element of that aspect of your being is there to protect you. It's there for protection. Listen until you get into that part of it. I'm here to protect you. Say, for example, you find that your heart center is trying to get your attention and it feels tight and heavy. The message might be, I am here to protect you from having your heart broken, as an example. And once you see that it has been there for you, I'm here to protect you in some way, please let it know that you can see that it did that for you. Dear, beautiful aspect of my being, I can see that you did that for me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like really acknowledge it, really, really thank it. And keep breathing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing that it has done for you. Thank you, beautiful aspect of my being. I appreciate you. Now what I want you to show me is what it would look like if you didn't have to protect me anymore. Show me what that would look like. And then your job is to sit back and listen and watch and experience what that looks like. Let it show you. And just watch. Watch this aspect of your being relax and drop and let go. And we get to acknowledge it again. Thank you. Thank you for doing that for me. Thank you for protecting me. And thank you for showing me what it would look like. Now I would like for you to relax. I've got it. I've got this. You don't have to protect me anymore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just love that aspect of your being up and thank it. And when you feel complete, you can flutter your eyes back open. It's a big practice. I'm curious how that went for you. If you care to share. And if you don't, that's very fine. Just hold it, right? Like that's a big, 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 big practice. How did you do, Sean?
I was kind of floating around my body. It was lovely. I'm after we went through to the pelvic chakra, then I moved over into my shoulder, of course, my arm, and I just floated around in there for a while, and I had to, like, all of a sudden focus back on where was I for a second. So I could tell that I was sinking and relaxing, and the spiritual energy was moving through my body. So it was wonderful.
Were you able to get information from it? Were you able to dialogue with it?
Not yet,
Okay.
but I think if I go back and do it, listen to it on, the recording, and do it again. I'm too aware of where I'm moving it right now and how I'm getting comfortable with it. But I think if I totally recline and relax, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a powerful practice. And it is
Yes.
a practice, so we get to repeat it. I call it body dialoguing,
Yes.
and it helps so much.
Yes. I loved it.
Good.
Thank you.
I love it too. It's a start, right? There's more. There's more. The shamanic work that I do goes through layers of that and gets to the heart of it. We don't have a context for where we can be because we've got this armor. Like we're covered with armor. We go through life and we get injured mentally, emotionally, or physically, right? And we become unaware of it because it becomes part of us. And when we start to dive into it and start to shed those layers, we feel lighter and lighter and lighter, and more possibility can bubble to the surface. And it's so amazing. We start to shift the way we think. We start to shift the way we emote. We start to shift the way we relate. We start to see our crap, right? We start to see what's not working and some patterns that have never really worked for us, right? And when we can flush it out, then we have this canvas that we get to paint and create what we really do want. And we manifest the life that we've always known that we should be having, right? So good, yay. If you're catching this on the replay, I really, really am curious how this is going for you, because it's so powerful. And if you feel stuck, I don't want you to feel stuck. I want you to be able to move through this and be able to do this work, because it's so important. It has a ripple effect. We talked about this over the course of the week. So what is next? This is, go back and review these teachings, start to implement all of these things. I tell all my clients there's always more. The rabbit hole goes deep, right? And as we grow and release the things that inhibit us, we don't carry this into our future, this particular lifetime or the lifetimes that follow. And, God knows we don't want to reincarnate with a bunch of baggage. So, no. So there's two things. We get to vision and create our future in our minds so that it can manifest in reality. And I am hosting a workshop next Saturday to walk you through that process. So I will publish a link so that you can enroll in that. It's powerful. It brings you in, it creates that possibility. It allows you to have context for what you can have, right? And the other piece is hopping on a call with me. There is a powerful reason to get support. If you are struggling in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, if you feel stuck, if you know there's something more, it's an important practice to ask for help. And that's what I'm here for. That I do this full time. And I happen to have the skill of being able to see underneath the layers, so that, it's we get to the heart of it quickly. Most people that are struggling with any kind of issue within the first 2-3 sessions, they're feeling like, wow, my body's better. So don't struggle. you don't have to struggle. You can get on a discovery call. We can talk about what you're struggling with and how to unwind that stuff, you know, how to get underneath it and release it and let it go for good. So those are two awesome options. I've completely enjoyed doing this challenge this week. I love I love this stuff, and it's awesome to share it out. And so I appreciate all of you that have been on here live, and those of you who have picked it up on the replay. And I really, really want to hear from you as far as what showed up for you. What did you get out of it? What's next for you? What actions are you gonna do to level up some aspect of your life? So anyway, we are all in this together. We are in a sisterhood, and it's super important that we do this work for ourselves so that it has the ripple effect and the intention to level up our entire sphere of influence. So does anybody have any comments?
It's been wonderful for me. I have worked my whole week around making sure at 11 o'clock I could focus, because I feel as a matured woman, we go through so many layers of change at each challenge on the journey, or even each beautiful thing on the journey. And I'm in an amazing place right now, but I still have ripples of challenge that spiral around. So when I get involved in something like this week, like, I'm thinking about everything when I wake up. Am I not running to the coffee maker? Am I doing all the things that we talked about on Wednesday? And then during the day, am I monitoring what I'm giving myself? And so each time we moved through a new step, I'm kind of like blending those in like a lovely reminder of what we're supposed to be doing as we go through this maturation of menopause, and really loving who we are at this age of being a woman. So I've loved every session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Yeah.
No, I can't say it better either. I mean, I've found it terrifically helpful, and I feel better today on Friday than I did on Monday. I'm glad that there are the recordings, because now that the week is finished, I plan to take some time over the weekend to watch all of the sessions, one after the other, in one big reminder sort of session. But again, I'm my morning routine's already changed too. I'm not doing some of the unhelpful things that I that I used to do. So yeah, it's been really helpful for me. Thank you, Kat.
Oh, my complete pleasure. And we see how they all weave together. It's you can't just isolate one of these keys. They all have a connection with one another. And once we see the big picture, like you said, Anne, it's like, oh, okay, I've got more tools. I feel better, and I know why I didn't feel as well as I do now, right? So good. Yay. Oh gosh, it's so glorious to be at this stage of life, and I want everyone to feel that way. So it's super good. Thank you very much, and we shall meet again. Take care.